Hi, I'm Sandy with Lightning Tools, and I'm here with Brett again. How are you?
I'm doing well, great. Yeah, doing absolutely fine. Thanks, Andy. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Cool. And you got some new pictures, I see.
Yes, I'm here in Maitland, Florida this week, which
Cool,
is
fantastic.
just right near Orlando.
Lovely,
Yeah,
fantastic. And so have you gotten out to any of the springs and things like that?
a little bit. Yeah, not like in the springs, just kind of dangled my feet in one. But yeah, went for some hikes, and yeah, I hadn't realized how many little lakes and springs there are around here. It's just like little chains of lakes, like
Yeah, it,
necklaces.
it is pretty beautiful around there. In
Mm.
fact, yeah, not long after I first met Sarah, she took me to the springs and she played the practical joke on me. She asked me to stand back a little bit as I'm dangling
Oh.
my feet in the springs, and I shot down one of the spouts where the water
Oh.
was coming out. So, yeah, I was suddenly down to my waist. So yeah, you didn't see it. All the water from the
Oh,
springs
wow.
just bubbling up through the sand. So yeah, there we go. So
Right.
we're going to be talking about Social Squared again, and we're going to be
Yes.
demonstrating some of the new features that we spoke about last week.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and share.
Okay.
And what you'll see here is that I'm actually running Social Squared inside of Microsoft Teams. And this is something that can work inside of SharePoint and also Teams. So we do have the modern experience inside of SharePoint, which is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, we've got a lot of people looking at the Teams environment at the moment. So
Mhm.
if you're new to Social Squared, then this is something where you can go through and define lots of different forum groups and forums, so you get more contextual discussions and questions coming up, and it's not something that can easily get interrupted through the flow of messages inside the chat pane. Sometimes that or posts pane. Sometimes that can be a little bit like WhatsApp with somebody jumping in the middle of a conversation. Whereas with this, you can actually navigate to the forum where you want to ask your question or whatever. So we've spoken about that lots in the past, but um, yeah, we've got quite a few features
Mm.
to go through, so I don't forget them all. Do you want to kick off with our first one?
Yep, sure. So first one is the ability for an administrator, which would be the team owner or SharePoint site owner, to subscribe people to a forum. So not only you yourself being able to subscribe, but an administrator being able to subscribe you,
Yeah,
using a
absolutely.
people pick.
Yeah, so great. So there's two places where you can actually subscribe inside of Social Squared, or two different levels, I should say. So you can subscribe at the forum level. So you'll notice here when I'm inside the forum, you've got the unsubscribe option. So that's for me. I can toggle myself on and off, or I can also subscribe other users or unsubscribe those other users as well at that level. And if I was to go into a topic, then I can do it there as well. So you've got the topic level subscriptions. So I find the topic level subscription being really useful if I've got the same question. And this happens on the internet all the time. You research an error message or something like that, and there's somebody's asked the same question that you have, but nobody's yet answered it.
Mhm.
So what you can do at that time is then subscribe to it, and then as soon as somebody does answer, you get notified, and that's it. You're all good. But if you go back to the forum level, that's I find more useful if maybe you're a subject matter expert and you want to be notified about somebody posting a question that you could answer. So you get notified that there is a question. You can jump in and answer it rather than sort of keep refreshing your view to see if anybody's posted a new topic. Um, so the options that you just described are the same for both of those. So let's just take a look at the link here to subscribe or unsubscribe users.
Well,
And
you're only seeing that because you're an admin, though, right? Like a regular
yes,
user isn't even going to see that link at all.
they can just subscribe themselves. That's absolutely right. Yeah. So here I've got the option of subscribing other people. So if I put in type in the word demo, for example, we've got a bunch of users that begin with the word demo. So demo user 5, demo user 6, etc. We can select one of those, and yeah, that's how we can now subscribe people. So we can just hit on that subscribe users, and they will be subscribed. A
Cool.
bit of luck.
Yep. All right. Very nice. So another new feature that we've got is the ability to pin a view.
Oh yeah, so this is
So this is going to be like a quiz for you to find all these features.
yeah, thanks for that. So this one here, so this is our default view when you come into Social Squared. So if I just refresh my screen here, I guess you'll see that when we're inside that app, we're going to go through and see immediately the forum groups and the forums that are displayed inside that particular tab. So there it is. But again, there might be something as a different view that I find more useful, depending on what sort of role I'm playing inside these forums. So there is a brand new view here, which is unanswered topics. We'll have a look at that one in a moment. But there's also user posts. There's active users. There's followers. We've got recent activities and things like that too. And the recent activities is one that I'm actually not going to go to because there's no content there.
How about the
Right.
favorites? Do you have some favorites marked? Because that would be
Yeah,
a good one to pin.
let's pick another one. What about this one? Popular topics. So popular topics could be another option, but the recent activities I find useful because again, that's another way of seeing what's new across multiple forums and in multiple forum groups. So if I want this to be sort of my home page to Social Squared, if you like, then I can just click onto this icon here, pin a view, and that's the view that I'm going to see then. So if we just hit another Control R to refresh the page, so we refresh Teams, we'll go straight back to that Social Squared tab, and instead of seeing the forum groups and the forums, we're going to see the view that I pinned. So there it is, and that's going to be retained for me as a user inside this browser. So that's all great. And then, of course, I can still go and access the other views if I want to.
Okay, nice. Next up is posts sorting. So when you're in a view of so a topic, you're in a topic and being able to sort those posts in the way that you want to see them.
Yeah, fantastic. So let's pick one here with a few. So this one here has 4 different replies. So I'm just going to jump into that one. And you can see that some of these posts have been marked as answered, they've been liked, they've been voted upon, and so on. So we default to the chronological view, but you can actually hit the drop down there to see other different options. So I've got the answered. So again, we can sort of make that ascending or descending. So you see all the answered topics all together, or based on likes. So we can see the view that way, or even on votes and so on as well. So just different ways of being able to see that content quickly rather than sort of scrolling through it, I guess, is the advantage there.
Nice.
So yeah, some nice little features.
Okay. Another new feature is term set tagging. So not just tagging within Social Squared, which we've had for quite a while, maybe since the beginning, but the ability to use a term set that you may have set up in your SharePoint metadata term store.
Yeah, so tags by default, when we go through and create a topic, you'll see here, for example, this post has been tagged with the word SharePoint and SharePoint 2013. And how the tags work by default is if we go through and add a new tag, and if I start asking a SharePoint question, so maybe what is SharePoint, and I'm just going to again. So you can see because of me using the word SharePoint in here, it's actually suggested some tags as well. And these are tags that have been used before in other posts. So you get some sort of uniformity to the tags, but I still have the ability to actually just enter my own tag. So I could just put the word SharePoint in there, even though it is already one. But yeah, I could use whatever I wanted there as my tag. So we can do that, or we can also go through and select an existing one that might be useful, and then go through and add that. And what that helps with is, first of all, you've got a tag cloud, so we can go into the tag cloud, and if we wanted to look at all of the posts that are tagged with the word SharePoint, it's a very quick and easy way of being able to do that. Or if we also wanted to be able to search on SharePoint, we could just, we don't necessarily need to choose the title and the content. we could just look for anything tagged with the word SharePoint through there as well, which is great. So the improvement here is actually having those tags rather than sort of being a free-for-all on creating those tags, is actually using the manage metadata as a term store. So it's one of the settings. So as we go into the settings of the tab here, you'll notice somewhere is,
I saw it there.
thank you, select the term set. So I can go through and choose the term set that I want to use. So let's turn that on. I've got this LT demo terms, which is very basic, I'm afraid, but we can go through and select that. And so now when I go through and create a new topic, notice that the tag control is different. We've actually got the term store, so I can go through and select some of the terms from my term set, and they become the tags for my content. So yeah, it's just another way of making sure that you've got uniformity in the tags that you're using.
It's great because a lot of companies have set up a hierarchy of specific terms that they want people to use for things. So yeah, it's great to be able to tag the things that way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
Okay.
fantastic.
Um, the next one is one that we've actually sort of seen as you were doing that, and that is the ability to see to have excuse me, the topics be suggested to you as you start to type them if you're
Yeah,
creating a topic.
yeah. So you'll notice here there's a question that somebody has asked about who can access my private channel? And there may be other things with Teams channel in there and that type of thing as well. So a question maybe like, how do I reset my password is something that somebody might get asked time and time again. And it can become frustrating if somebody else has already asked that question, you're the moderator having to reply to them and so on. So what you'll find is when you go through to create the subject, if it looks similar to another post, then Social Squared is going to suggest looking at that post. So I'm going to just put in Teams channel or start to type in Teams or whatever, and it's already suggesting some of the different options in here. So I could carry on typing or actually go through and select one of those. So if there was a post, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask. Yeah, how do I create a Teams channel? I can actually select that, and it takes me to that post, and I can see that nobody else has replied to it. But that's exactly the question that I was going to ask as well.
Uh-huh.
So rather than having two posts with the same question, maybe at that stage I can actually just subscribe to this one, and then when somebody asks, well, yeah, I could also reply and just say, hey, yeah, me too. I've got the same question or something along
Great.
those lines. So
That's a really cool feature, I think.
yeah, it's a great one. I think that's because I thought of it. But, yeah.
Well, here's another one that I remember that you thought of, and that's the conditional sticky topics.
Yeah, I may have stole that one. So that was a feature suggestion in another tool.
Okay.
But yeah, absolutely. So you can make a post sticky. Now, my reason for doing this one, we can make any post a sticky post and it will remain at the top. So you just click onto the sticky option here. But now we have some options as well of making it sticky for a period of time or for X amount of views. And the reason that is useful is around adoption of the forum as well. So it may be that you've described in a post what you're expecting people to use this forum for. So you put that into a post and maybe some instructions and so on. And you don't want that to be sticky forever. So what you can basically do is say, yeah, let's just keep this sticky for the next month or the next week or something like that. And we don't have to remember to take it down. It's just going to fall back in line after that time has passed. And you could also do it on the number of views as well. So if we had 100 people in the team and 100 people have viewed it, then pretty much everybody's seen this. So we could take it down on that basis, which of course may only take a day rather than waiting the whole month
Yeah.
of that. So
That's cool. That makes a lot of sense. All right. And speaking of topics, we have a new view, which is unanswered topics.
Yeah, so again, you've got the ability to mark a post as answered or not. So you can see this one here has been marked as answered. It's actually currently locked, so I'm just going to unlock it. But yeah, you can click onto answered. So if somebody did ask a question, you replied, and the author marked your reply as answered, then that's something that you want to feed back to other people. But what can be challenging is when you're asking questions and they're quite timely. You were trying to encourage people away from email and into the discussion boards to ask their questions and so on. But it can be frustrating for that user if they're not being answered. So what you can do is just, rather than searching all of these granularly, we can actually just come in and look at the unanswered view, and in here it's going to highlight all of those topics that are currently unanswered, and as a moderator or a subject matter expert, I can start going in and replying to some of these. Or it may even be that the author it did get answered and they didn't mark it as answered, or something like that as well. So yeah, we could do that as a moderator as well, and mark those as an answered topic.
Cool. Yeah, that's good. Sort of like a to-do list then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Private messaging. How about that?
Yeah, so the ability to message individually. So I'm just trying to think if I go in and so we've got the.
Click on my name maybe or something. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Click on you. Yeah, so here you are. Yeah, so when I click onto your view activity link, I can send a private message to you. So yeah, hello, and send that across. So yeah, you'll basically get that that hello coming through in your environment. So it of course that seems fairly basic because you got the posts tab up here as well.
Right.
But again, this is kind of contextual with inside of Social Squared. So
Right. Yep. Okay. And the ability to create an online meeting or event based on a post.
yeah, absolutely. So this is something where somebody again may have asked a question like how do I create a Teams channel or something like that, and I think well actually this is perhaps a good one where we could actually arrange a meeting to discuss it, because I'm going to have to demo it to you and so on, and it's going to be too timely to put into words. So what I could do is just say, hey, let's meet on this, or something along those lines, and then I can actually go through and create a Teams meeting. So I can create a subject like creating a Teams channel, and we can choose the start date, the time, and all that sort of thing, and basically reply to that effect. So yeah, you can see there is the join a meeting link and so on, and they can go ahead and join it, and we're good. So
That's awesome. And then that's kind of recorded there in the forum that there was a meeting about this, in case
yes,
anybody else is interested to know that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Cool.
so nice little Teams
Yeah,
feature.
yeah. Mhm. Um, and I think, yeah, that one we already had. Um, yeah, I think that's actually it.
Yeah, there's been a few sort of
That's pretty good.
areas polished and things like that,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's the main set of features that are being launched this month. So I'm excited to get these pushed out.
Great, thanks for showing us. Yeah, and so people will be able to see a deep dive on those also in our upcoming webinar on the 28th.
Yep.
And you can feel free also, if you want to arrange a private demo, you can use the book a demo button on our website under if you've gone into Social Squared, and that lets us tailor a demo just to your needs, so that you can tell us what you'd like in a forum, and we can show you how to achieve that.
Yeah, and if you are going to do that, then I'd highly recommend actually just saying exactly what you want to use a discussion
Right.
board for, because it's been enlightening about all the different types of forums that are out there, and
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to sort of demonstrate something that's entirely irrelevant to what you'd be using it
Right.
for. So yeah, we can make it align with your needs and what the discussion board would be. So
Right. Yeah, we really do tailor the demos to individual people's needs. So yeah, the more we know, the better.
Exactly. All right, Sandy. Well, it's great to catch up with you again,
Yep, good to
and
see you.
yeah, I look forward to the next session.
Yep, me too. All right,
All right,
bye.
take care. Bye.